Good afternoon and welcome to Radio Row. We're just a couple of days away from the big game. Joining me, Roy Kessel and Ted Sobel, to talk about Ted's new book. He gave me an autographed copy a couple of days ago. I peeked through it. I'm excited to read every single word. Ted, welcome.
Thanks, Kayla. It's great to be with you.
Thank you. Tell us a little bit about the work you're doing.
Yeah, home of Sports USA Radio, 18th year, and we're doing NFL doubleheaders on the radio around the country. So we have over 400 stations. I do the pregame, the halftime, and the postgame, and the scoreboard updates during the game. And I'm local in LA, radio KFWB for 23 years previous to this, and been credentialed to sports since 1973. But who's counting?
So I was born on January 24th of that year, Ted.
So where were you? I invited you to the game. Jerry West was my first one when he was playing his last season with the Lakers. So I invited you, but I can't control.
Unbelievable. Tell us about your book.
Yeah, the book is a memoir. Growing up in Southern California in the 60s and the 70s, there's a lot of things that have happened lately with the Laurel Canyon music era. Well, I got a whole chapter on that in the book that talks about those days. And I used to hang out at the Troubadour and the Whiskey a Go-Go and places that people are very familiar with when Linda Ronstadt first started and the Eagles first. I even broke a couple of stories on the origin of a couple of Eagles songs, A New Kid in Town and Tequila Sunrise. They're really fun stories. And then the second half of the book is covering sports, Kobe Bryant's and Tiger Woods' entire careers, and football chapters, including some Super Bowls, a great David Tyree story, the guy with the helmet catch that upset the perfect Patriots that year for the New York Giants. Just a lot of fun. It's Aaron Rodgers for Green Bay fans, and Bart Starr was my boyhood idol. That was the premise of the book originally, was to talk about when you have a boyhood idol or a girlhood idol, which I'm not sure if I've ever heard that word before, but I'm sure it exists. I just made it up. And you have these people that end up, you get to meet them, you get to work or become, whether it's professionally or personally, get to know them. That a lot of people just want to shake their hand. I got to have more than that. And a lot of the premise was originally that. It just expanded into a total memoir.
So when you look back at your whole career, you've had a chance to cover some of the all-time greats in sports, right? A lot of the names you just threw out. If we let you pick one person and say that's the only person that you could have ever covered, who would you pick out of all of those amazing athletes?
Can I choose a day instead of look, Wayne Gretzky is right up there. I covered his entire career with the Kings when he was here. And Wayne was kind enough. He's the kind of guy, right? He's a superstar, and I got some great stories about him in the book. He endorsed my book, which is very nice. He's on the back cover with Shaquille O'Neal. There's so many good ones. You know what? But Kobe Bryant turned out to be so difficult at the start, and the last few years, fantastic to work with. And we really lose a lot. Our society lost a lot because what he could have done for everybody. He was a philanthropist for sure.
So Ted, my question for you.
Yes.
If Sports Philanthropy Network gave you $10,000 and said, Ted, go do this for good, use the money, how would you spend the $10,000?
It would definitely be kids related. It would be something for the kids. And what we need to do is, in my mind, is teach the kids the way it should be and not the way it is. And that means morals, values, things that are going to help you your entire life, not just 1 and 1 is 2. And we don't have enough of that in society. So whatever is kids related and from an educational standpoint to me is important, and also obviously medically too. So maybe I'd split it down the middle, education and medical to do research, because that's just too important.
So with all the sports that you've covered, tell us a little bit about what is your personal favorite sport to cover, number one, and favorite sport to play, number two.
Okay. Probably golf is my favorite because now I don't play the others much anymore. So baseball was my favorite as a kid, but don't do that anymore. So I love to golf, but I don't golf that often. So I just came back from Pebble Beach last weekend.
How'd you shoot?
I didn't play. I covered the tournament. I wish. How did I shoot? I shot right down the 5 freeway all the way down, 5-hour drive. That's where it was a straight drive. So that was a good drive down the middle. To me, I enjoy covering golf as well. But hockey has always had a little special place in my life. And as you know, we talked about before, I used to be the Wisconsin Badgers announcer a long time ago, the Miracle on Ice year, 1980. And when our best players were playing for Team USA. So hockey's been great, and I got a really great opportunity to cover the LA Kings when they won the Stanley Cup in 2012. And we waited 45 years for that. None of us thought we would ever live to see it. So hockey's been special. It's good to be known as a hockey guy. It's like a family kind of a thing. And it really is for people over the generations. You always feel like you're part of the hockey family.
Yeah, I completely agree, Ted. We were at the NHL All-Star game and listening to the way that hockey is really getting involved in STEM sports, using STEM in sports, as well as their initiatives in DEI. I thought it was great. I want to say thank you so much for joining
Thank you.
Sports Network. We applaud the work you're doing in media to create hope and possibilities in sports. All right, take us away.
Thank you for joining us. We love hearing about the book, and
Thank you.
we look forward to having an opportunity to read that as well. And for all our viewers and listeners, thanks for jumping in with us today. We remind you to live generously.
That's right, folks. Live generously. Thank you, Ted and Ryan.